I love being a teacher, but we can't be in the classroom with our students if we're dead or if they're dead.
To the teachers who say that they don't want to go back to school, I say that's your right. Nobody forced you to be a teacher, but when you did, you took an oath to these children. You owed them their education, the socialization.
We can't socialize, and we have to socially distance from each other. Activities aren't being held. We're not having dances. We're not hosting clubs.
I have 3 children, one with health issues, and I was forced to quit working to be a caregiver at home for my daughter.
To the parents who want their children to be back at school simply because they need to go to work, how are you going to feel when you have to take a day off of work to attend your child's funeral because of the choice you made to expose them to this deadly virus?
If a teacher at my son's school passed away from COVID, I would feel a little bit guilty. However, they know those risks prior to becoming a teacher.
If I get infected, it's not just me, it's my husband and my 17-year-old son who's a senior at the same high school I work at. To think about me bringing that home to my family just makes me sick to my stomach.
My son is depressed as well, so to see him do that, it breaks my heart. He's constantly asking me, Mom, when is it gonna go back to normal?
Society is chasing this fantasy of normal that just cannot be right now. I'm seeing on social media the hallways of high schools with students packed like sardines and they're not wearing their masks.
I believe that children should have the choice to wear masks when returning to school.
Children, especially at a younger age, do not understand social distancing.
My son understands the importance of proper social distancing.
I know that there are not a lot of good options out there, but remote learning is the best option.
I believe that virtual learning is a nightmare. I don't possess the skills and tools that they do to be able to help my son in the ways that he needs.
Being asked to go back into the classroom in the height of a pandemic is infuriating, and I feel absolutely disrespected to be asked to do so.
Well, Bridget and Andrea are both mothers that are trying to navigate the barrage of news regarding safety returning to school for their children and their community. And I say children and community because the children go to school, then they come back out into the community, so it's not like they're going to school island. They go to school and then come back out into the community. Michelle is a special education teacher for kindergarten through 3rd grade. She says she cried the day she found out that her classes would be virtual.
I've been a teacher for 25 years, and I'm furious that this fall we're not in school. If people don't think that's hurting children, you're crazy. They're locked at home in a completely unnatural situation, not being able to see friends and socialize. I think we're gonna have so much catching up to do because they will have missed so much. When I have children on my Zoom crying because they want to come back to school, they want to see their friends, they want to be with me, I know this is hurting them. I am not afraid to go back into the classroom and teach students. I'm really not afraid of this virus. I will do what I need to do to put precautions in place and keep myself as safe as possible, but I'm not afraid. I do believe that there has been a lot of fear-mongering, and I do believe people have overreacted. The numbers of deaths have been inflated. We're counting cases as COVID deaths that aren't necessarily COVID deaths. We've had more deaths from tuberculosis than COVID-19 this year. I do not believe that children are super spreaders of this disease. We have seen the data that shows where the cases were when kids went back to school, and there is no spike. And the studies I've read show that children are super spreaders. Some children are going to get it, and some children will die, I'm sure. But children are dying from cancer and tuberculosis and all kinds of other diseases that are very real risk out there. So this isn't the only risk. We absolutely cannot let fear stop us from living life. I am ready to go back to school as soon as they tell me I can, 100%.